Hey everybody, it's Tox from critshappen.com. We're about to do something completely different and something we've never done before, and we're going to see how it goes. So behind this door is my boys' rooms, and today we're going to be looking at a game that they love. Now you may be able to hear it in the background, but one of them is playing the Wii right now, so he's probably not going to join us, but let's go in and see what we can find in here. Alright, who's here? Who's in here? Other than a lot of toys and a lot of design stuff.
Behind you.
And behind you. Hey, there you are. Hey, here you go. You want to hold it? All right, what are we looking at today? What's the name of that game?
Gravity Maze.
Gravity Maze. So this is from Thinkfun. Thinkfun. I'm just going to get down on the ground here. So Thinkfun sent us this. We did a review for Robot Turtles, which was pretty cool. You remember that one with the turtles where you had the programming cards, you had to move them around? Yeah. So Robot Turtles was pretty cool. That was a game that kind of taught younger kids about programming, sometimes following orders, which was really good. But this is totally different. So Gravity Maze, as you can see, is very colorful looking, and it's very different looking. And it's more of a puzzle than it is a game. Now, I have to admit, this is only the second game that I've looked at from Thinkfun, and I'm pretty impressed by them. They do a pretty good job, don't they? I mean, their production quality is very good, their design quality is really good, and quite frankly, their fun factor is really good as well. So, well, instead of me saying it, why don't you say it? What's the object of Gravity Maze? What are you trying to do?
If you look on the back, you see how you have these cards?
Let's move
You see this? You have to get one of these to that red spot.
You have to get one of the little silver marbles to that red spot.
Yeah. And see, these type of places, you don't know where to go, because imagine if it goes straight, but then it turns that way.
Right, because there's all these different pieces that are going to work together and kind of make that marble go in different directions, right?
Yeah. And there's only one of that, two of that, and two of that, and two of that, and two of that.
Well, why don't we break it open and why don't we show them a little bit, huh?
Why show it?
Okay, let's do it.
Go down here.
Let's go down here and let's see what we got. All right. So inside the box we got a little instruction booklet, but we already know how to play, so we're not going to go through that.
Marbles would escape from this place.
Yes, you have to be very careful with the marbles. That's like number one rule.
Puppies.
They could kill puppies. Yeah, you don't want a puppy to swallow those.
This is your base, and look, I'll show you. You what's this?
Well, while you pull that out, let me show them these, okay?
Yeah.
So first off, you'll notice that the box is superb. I mean, just the vac tray is really, really good. It's actually a really sturdy vac tray. Like, it's very strong, which is really nice because you have all these different pieces that are going to go in here. Now, I'm not sure how good it's going to show up on camera here, but you can see that there's these little dots. Like, there's two dots here, if I can hold that up there. There's two dots right here, and then there's two dots along the side. The reason those dots are there is they're going to show you on cards how to set up certain pieces. So why don't we pick a card out and show them how we can solve, right?
Yeah, and there's different types of them.
There are different types. Let's pull them out. I'll get all these pieces out.
There's
which is pretty fun just on it.
Intermediate, beginner, and there's one other one. It's let me see.
Advanced, there you go. So these are like smaller ones. And you can see like my finger goes in here and comes out the top and can't go through. So these are different channels that are going to be like maneuvering the ball around the maze. And like we had said, it's much more of a puzzle than it is a game. But it can be a game because you have all these cards. Why don't you go ahead and show them some of those cards, Zach?
I'll give you all the colors because there's loads of colors.
There are loads of colors. But the stripes on the bottom will have different levels, right?
Yeah.
So what's the green one there?
The beginner.
The beginner. Those are usually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Then you move up into intermediate, which is yellow. Those can be a little more tricky. Yeah. Then you get into advanced, which are blue. And then you get into experts, which are red. And the experts can be really challenging, even for adults. And I think that's some of the fun things around this game is that this is something that you can play with your kids, you can enjoy with your kids, or your kids can enjoy on their own. It's not necessarily a game that has to be something just for kids or just for adults. This is actually a really good family game. All right, so why don't we pick one of these? Let's start with the beginner one and show them the beginner one. Why don't we let's pull the base over here.
Before we do that, I want to show you. See how this one's white and then turns to black?
Oh yeah, what's on that?
These are the solutions.
Those are the solutions. That's right.
Right,
yeah, they'll show you the solutions on the back, so in case you get stuck, you know how to get there.
And these you don't place marbles right there.
No, you don't want to do that.
But if you see one odd, like right there, that's where they go.
All right, so why don't we do this one here? Let's start off with this beginner. Now, the card shows you a couple of different things, right? So the card shows you the end point. The end point is always this red kind of, I guess, I don't know, what do you want to call it, gate?
A warp gate.
Yeah, well, warp gate, but that's a different game. The object is to get the marble in there, and there's only one way in, right through here. There's only one way in.
Yeah, look, see?
No other way in. But you'll see here again now on the card, you have these dots, and the dots are the really big important thing.
Like this, see? 2, 2, 2.
Yep.
2, 2, 2.
All right, so let's take the two things that we know are going to be on the board and put them on the board the way the card says to.
Then we go here and
you match up those 2, 2, 2 dots to the 2, 2, 2 there. Once you back your head up so the light can show them a little better. So you have 2 dots, 2 dots, and 2 dots, and 2 dots, 2 dots, and 2 dots. So that's all the same. Then you do the same thing with 2 dots, 1 dot, and 2 dots for 2 dots, 1 dot, and 2 dots on the Gravity Maze card.
These are the only types you can use.
Those, right, exactly.
Only this, and...
Let's explain it here, because there's a couple of different things they can see. In fact, let me see that intermediate card so I can show them the difference. So if you look on the bottom, it will tell you here, add 2 grid, 1 blue, and 2 yellows. So NinjaZach has gone ahead and gotten 1 blue and 2 yellows out, and that's going to be part of the solution to this puzzle. Now, this one shows 1 yellow, 1 purple, and 1 gray.
If you're wondering why this is like that instead of like that, it's because, look, that's that.
Right, you can actually place these pieces horizontally or vertically, and that's one of the big differences. So this tells you you're going to have 2 different, a yellow and a gray piece that are horizontal, and a purple piece that is, a yellow and a gray piece that is vertical, and a purple piece that is horizontal. Whereas this one tells us we're going to have a blue and 2 yellows that are all vertical. So it gives you a little bit of a clue as to how to finish it. So right now, this is the starting point, and that little white dot on the card shows us as a starting point. So if we can always test it. That's right, we can always test it. So from here, it goes that way. So we know it's going to go that way to, I guess, forward, we'll call it.
If you do this, and it drops there, and it drops 2 levels, you can't do that.
That's right. One of the key things around Gravity Maze is you're not allowed to have it drop more than 1 level. So how are we going to do this one, Zach? Do you know a solution as to how we can do this?
Well, see this? How it'll go through there and do nothing.
Okay.
So let's try one of these.
Okay.
This will just do that. That's what I told you about these 4-way pieces. Yep.
Now we can test this, right? If we just want to put that on and test it, we could test it.
And it doesn't matter if you push it this way or that way.
And where is the hole for this? The hole is over here, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try and get it down into there. Okay, so what can we do next?
Well, we can do this.
Okay.
Do that. And then we can do that.
Okay. So now we've got exactly what the card told us. We have a blue and 2 yellows that are vertical. And we're going to put the ball into our starting space and see where the marble ends up. Whoop! It didn't end up where we wanted it to end up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I told you about.
There it goes.
There.
So sometimes it's tricky because sometimes you have an area that has like multiple ways to fall out of. So you may have to test it more than once. But that shows you that it gets you through each of the levels and down into that one thing. Now you can always flip it over and test to see if we're right. So here it shows us purple, yellow, yellow, blue, red, which is exactly what NinjaZach had.
Yeah,
which is
but
actually
this
pretty
is
good
2, 2,
because
2, but
he actually didn't plan this. And it shows 2, 2, 2, and you have 2, 2, 2. So actually, the design solution for this should be this way.
But it's a full way, so it doesn't matter.
That's right. Well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Go ahead and put the marble in this time. We'll take it out of there, and we'll put it through one more time. I think we're going to end up with the same result, and we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Nope. Side. There it goes, right on in. Yep. So that is Gravity Maze. Now there are. Why don't we pull out some of the hard cards down there, the red cards? Yeah, here you go. So this one is really elaborate. So this one tells you on an expert, you have the green is the starting area, the red is where you're trying to get the marble into. You have a blue, a green, a yellow, and a purple, but the purple's horizontal, and it may seem easy, but you're kind of limited in what you can do. And you'll see on the back of this, it can get pretty elaborate because the horizontal purple, really this area doesn't get used at all. So you're really only using this one area. So just because just because something says to use all these doesn't necessarily mean that the marble is going to go through every single one of those pieces. And I think that's one of the trickier things about Gravity Maze, right? So overall, let's come back up here. So overall, what do we think of Gravity Maze? Do we like it?
Yeah.
I like it a lot too. I think it's pretty fun. What do you think is fun about it? What do you like the most about it?
The puzzles and the maze of puzzles.
The maze of puzzles? Yeah, it's like running through a maze. Now, you can also do a lot of your own custom stuff, right? We can make our own. We've actually made our own puzzles, which I think is one of the cooler things. Do you like that it's colorful?
Yeah, I like how it's colorful.
It is pretty colorful. The dots are actually a really neat little system. It's pretty easy to figure out where things go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes it fun. And I think the most fun is that we get to play it together, right?
And also, see these, how it's two-colored?
Yep.
Let me show you.
Oh, that's a good point. We didn't even bring that up. So on this card right here, you'll see that there is a gray and a purple. And they're right on top of each other. So let's show them how to set that one up real quick. So this is a gray on the bottom and a purple on top. And the gray is going to have 2 dots on top, 2 dots on the bottom, and 1 dot on the left. So why don't we put that one on there first? We'll put the gray one on there first, and then we can put the purple one on top of it. And we'll show them exactly what happens. All right, so there's the 2, 2, and 1. And then the purple goes right on top of that. Yep, just like that. So you would have both of them stacked on top of each other, and that's actually your starting point. So you can see how that can be an advanced type. Yeah. Because you may have to push something, marble goes one direction, comes back around, goes through a lower direction. There's all different things that could happen. Yeah. So, overall, Gravity Maze, pretty fun?
Yes!
Very good. All right, so that's NinjaZach approved. Hang on.
Remember?
Hang on.
Look, see this? You cannot do that. You can do this.
That's right. There are certain rules around how you can build to make sure that things will go together correctly. But overall, Gravity Maze has been a big hit with us. We've been very happy with it. And definitely, if you have a family or if you are a puzzle-minded gamer, we would definitely recommend to check it out. You can find out more about them at I think it's thinkfun.com, and we'll have more information below in the video description as well. But until we see you next time, we hope that you enjoy rolling your marble wherever it may take you in this wild and wacky world. Keep rolling those dice.
We hope to all crits and have an amazing day.